So first we'll see simply activating a dialog box. This is the dialog box. I'll add the object to QTP. I'll click on the top. I can add the dialog box object. Now when I click on the top of the dialog box, I'll see it will ask for adding the other objects in the hierarchy. So selected object only, no descendants. Default object types, all objects. You'll see when you click on at the top in a web page or a application, you'll see it will ask for adding the other child objects in the hierarchy. So right now I'm just interested in the dialog box, so I'll select selected object only, but there are other options available. Now when I drag this, the default method itself is activate, so it just simply activates the dialog box, and when I run this, it will just activate the dialog box. That is the dialog box which is in the tray, it will be activated. And same for Windows. For web application, you have to just click at the top of the page and top of the browser, and the code is the same. Now suppose I want to add something. I want to add the name in this edit box. This you are already aware of. First I add the object and then I drag it over here, and dot set is the default method. We can add name in double quotes. Now remember, if you are adding a string, it has to be in double quotes. Say test. But if you are adding a variable instead of string, then it can be added directly. Now this is correct way of writing. Now suppose what I'll do is I'll put the value test in a variable. So the variable name str name equal to test. So instead of directly writing the value, I can write the variable name. Now this variable name, why do we use variable? When I used test earlier, it is hard coded. That is, the script will run for only one agent name. But suppose I have multiple agent names, I can put that in the variable. I can change the variable since I can change the values in the variable. Every time when I use a different value for the for variable str name, a different value is set in the agent name edit box. So in this way, if I want to test for different values, I can use a variable here. And same is for password. Now suppose I want to apart from adding test, okay, suppose there's something already written on this, say agent name. Now I want to append test to it. So when I write this code dot set, it will replace the value test instead of name. But suppose I want to retain the value name and append test to it in this format. So what will I do is, instead of writing set, I'll write type. If you see, type is not the default method. We have to select from the methods available for edit box. So you can click you can write test over here. So now what happens is, when you run this code, it has appended test to name. That is, it has not made any changes to the existing value. Next we'll see his combo box value. Now this is the drop down box, also called as Win combo box, which means Windows, since it's a Windows application, combo box. Now as I had explained earlier, suppose I want to retrieve any value from the combo box, I can use index or the names directly. So what I'll do is, so guys, you have to practice along with me so that you're comfortable with coding. I'm adding the combo box, Win combo box fly from, and I drag it over here. So dot select. Now the method which we want is dot get item. Get item will be giving me the item which we want in the drop down box. Say for example we want the third item, the index will be 0, 1, 2. If we want London, so I'll say 2. Now remember guys, dot get item is the property wherein we get the value from the combo box into our script, and we can save it in a variable. Now where do we save it? str. This is the naming convention which I'll explain you in further chapters. So for string we normally use str in small, and then we give a logical name to it. Now since this is the name for fly from combo box, so I'll give fly from. So this is how I name my variable, str in small, f capital, fly from, again f capital. So there has to be some logical way to represent the variables. Now you can also write s fly from. For integer you can write I instead of int, and for boolean, for instead of writing bln you can write b. So there are different ways. So it has to be agreed upon in a team that what convention you're going to follow. So this is just one variable, but suppose in real-time scenarios where you have 50 or hundreds of variables, so you're not able to, it will be very difficult to recognize. So we write the type of the variable and the logical name followed with the type. So we are storing the London value in this variable. Now suppose I want to select it, the value in the script. So what I'll do is I'll just simply click on dot select, again index 2. So what this code does is it just selects the value in drop down, whereas the first the get item code takes the value, retrieves the value from the code, from the application, and puts it in a variable. Now the next thing we are, which we'll see, suppose there's a combo box and the value is already selected, and you want the selected value for this combo box. So there's a code for this. again combo box will be the same, and when you click on dot, you'll get the different methods which are available. So there's a method called get selection. Again we'll store it in a variable name str fly. So what this code will do is, the value which is already selected by default in the code in the application is retrieved by the code, and it is put in a variable. So let's see if we are doing it properly. I would like to display my variable value so that I know that what I'm doing. Here if you see, Portland is the default value which is selected. Now when I run this script, okay, before that I'll just comment this part. I want to see whether Portland is displayed. So as you can see,